this computer. Awesome. Mary's here with friends. Hi. Awesome. Okay. Amazing. Okay. Sorry. Side note. So yeah, for an evening to elevate, we're going to start with Mike Massey, who is an incredible, he's Mindful Mike. He's all about mindfulness and meditation, and then working with intuition for myself. And then Susan Marie is like no one else. She's like the embodiment of love. Her energy is just so loving and so sweet. And she has an ability to really connect into some like super multi-dimensional frequencies and help us really remember who we are, which is this all that is loving energy. Our non-physical self, our soul essence is amazing. It is this all that is of all that is of all that is of all that is energy that is totally unconditional love. And she's going to help us reconnect into that. And that's something I love to do as well. And it totally tags in with intuition, because when we're connected to the energy that we are, to the source energy, anything and everything's possible for us. And our decisions do become super quick. So we have such really cool topics to share with you that will help you elevate into whatever you need in your life next. And there's going to be some, like a break where we have a mix and mingle. So there'll be some time to socialize. I have some crystals that I'm going to sell, some jewelry, some like fancy crystal jewelry to sell as well. And there'll be some snacks and stuff. So consider the event An Evening to Elevate. It's May 10th at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be amazing. And I'm super stoked. So I wanted to get my plug in there. Got the plug. Consider coming, and we'll be able to use the tools. So if you're on the fence, like I was on the fence about an event earlier this year, a networking event, and I used these tools to decide if I was going to go or not. I use the tools I'm going to share today to pretty much make every decision in my life. So I'm excited to share them with you. Okay, so today's topic, making quick, confident, connected decisions. I want you to start, hey Pam, thanks for joining us. I want you to start, first of all, rating yourself. So on a scale of 0 to 10, how confident are you in the process of making decisions, especially including the big ones, whatever you consider big decisions? Because for some of us, we're like, yeah, easy decisions, I got that, no problem. But the bigger life decisions may be really trying or anxiety producing for us, as they were for me, especially in the past. So 0 to 10, 10 being big life decision is like super anxiety producing. You know, you got to go to everyone else for guidance, and you still can't figure out what to do. That would be a 10, where you're just like digging in your heels, totally resisting, in fear of making the wrong decision. And a 0 would be like, I got this, big decisions, totally aligned, totally connected, confident, I know what's right for me. So sort of feel into where you would rate yourself on the confident decision-making scale, if you don't mind. So the me of the past, just to give you perspective, me in my teenage years and through my 20s, before I found some of these alternative tools, I was an anxious mess. And it was pretty much impossible for me to make large decisions or decisions of any kind. And so what I did, because I lacked confidence for myself, and I had significant fears of making the wrong decisions, significant fears that, you know, if I made the wrong decision, then I'd miss out, or if I made the wrong decision, something bad would happen. Like there's just all this fear, and I actually didn't even want to make decisions for myself. It was just much easier to ask my parents or to ask my best friend, and essentially like use everyone else's input to decide for me. And I think what happens sometimes is, as parents, we forget, or as a society, we haven't been taught how to teach people to align to their truth. Because nobody else knows your truth better than you. And if you don't know your truth, let's help you awaken to your truth so that you can live your truth and choose things only that are in the flow of your truth. So that's part of my passion. I love to help people really truly connect into who they truly are and into the truth of why they're here, into the truth of what makes them feel good, and then choose from that place. So on the absolute most simple level, if it feels good for you, generally it's aligned. If you're going to make it super, super simple, if something feels good and it's fun, generally it's aligned with who you truly are. So again, as I talked about right at the beginning, for those that maybe came a little late, our soul essence is all that is energy. So our soul essence, our non-physical selves, are complete unconditional love, and we have all the innate wisdom that we ever need. Unfortunately, we've forgotten this innate wisdom. So this process is an awakening of a remembering of what's already there, which is fun because we really don't need to learn anything. We've already got all the answers within. So all the ways you've been looking outside of yourself, like I was before, for answers or guidance or truth, can we actually show you that the truth lies within? Because the truth of who you really be is this all that is energy. The truth of who you really are is pure unconditional love. So all the answers to any questions, to any decisions, they come from within. So let's show you that first, and how to live from this place of guidance, of having all the answers within. So if you'd like all of that, just say yes. So part of what I do is I bring in these perspectives and these awarenesses, and they come from me guided intuitively from the all that is energy within me and around me and in all things, essentially. So I get guidance sort of as to what to share. And I have a bunch of different ideas of what I want to communicate to help you really connect into the truth of who you are, into the all that is energy and knowing of who you are. So for me, there's a visualization that I've learned and a few techniques that helped me hone in on my confidence on making my own decisions, because I realized that along the way that most of society is not choosing decisions from a place of true alignment. So if that is true, why am I asking most of society to guide me on what I want and what I desire? It didn't make logical sense. So I started to really play with my own gut instincts and my own feelings, and started to listen to the spidey senses and then act accordingly with inspired action. And I found it was amazing how I was supported in that. So when you put out faith and trust, you receive more of that energetically, and you really truly feel the flow of your experience. So can we bring in the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on faith and on trust for you, and on just totally surrendering to your flow? And again, you're in your flow if things are easy and if things feel good. It's literally that simple. So can we show you that things can feel good and be easy, and you can choose that, and that that's possible for you? And it's best to start with the little decisions. So for me, there's this tool called light and heavy that we learn in Access Consciousness. So it's one of the modalities, or some of the tools that I teach in one of the classes I teach. So again, on the most basic level, something that's true to you, authentically true to who you truly are, is going to feel light. If it feels like a lie to you, it feels heavy. So I started playing with this early on. Is this light or is this heavy? And I use it for what I'm going to wear. This shirt tonight was what felt lightest. These earrings, I felt into which earrings to wear for the call tonight, and this is what I got. So I literally, all the little decisions, what feels light, what feels heavy, and I begin to play with that tool. So it is simple, but it is massively transformative. So can we show you how to be able to easily identify what's light and right for you, and what's heavy and out of alignment for you? So it's not that anything's wrong. There's really no wrong choices. They just might not be the most aligned choices, so they might create more turbulence or more resistance before you come back to your flow. So there's really no right or wrong. It's more just, does this feel aligned or does this feel out of alignment? Does this feel true to what I really want, or am I forcing something? Right? So all the ways you've been making yourself wrong, or even carrying guilt or shame or regret around wrong decisions, can we just show you the rightness or the alignment of the experience? So every experience is showing us something greater. So it's pointing us, even something that we think was the worst experience of our life, if you truly look at those experiences from a new perspective, generally they create the biggest transformations for us. They're pointing us to the greatest light, and maybe even to the greatest truth of who we really are. So can we show you as well any of those situations where you felt like you've made the wrong decision or where you have regrets? Can we show you how to see those situations from the highest truth now, and to just have different awarenesses on what you were experiencing that was in your greater good, and how it really got you to where you're at, and how it's going to get you to a place of even more joy and more freedom and more fun and more abundance and more of what you truly want. Okay. Awesome, Marina. Thank you. So that's what I wanted to share. And I wanted to actually share, so let's play with that for a sec, actually, before I move on. Let's play with the light and heavy tool. So think of something really simple that you have to decide. Like, it might be whether I do the laundry tonight, or what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow. Think of something super simple and use the light and heavy tool. Does this feel light for me? Okay, perfect. That's aligned. I'm going to choose it. If it feels heavy, it's probably not. Sometimes, though, it can feel heavy because there's a fear in there. And sometimes, for me, those are different. It's like a heavy, but there's kind of an excitement under that fear. It's different. It's like even doing the live stream option, or even the evening to elevate. Once I put the tickets up online, like I was actually doing it. Everything else was easy. It was in the flow. But when I put the tickets on, I was like, oh gosh. Like there was this like heavy, but like lightness. The heaviness was like, okay, I'm doing this. This is the next step. And then the lightness was like, yeah, it's totally aligned. So can we also give you discernment around if there is a bit of heaviness, it may be just sort of this like comfort zone edge that you've reached, that you're actually extending out further, right? When we reach those comfort zones, they don't always feel comfortable, but the more we recognize, oh yeah, I've hit my edge and I'm shoving it out, that we can like, okay, push through it. Whew, done. Let's do this. It's kind of a different way of looking at things. So let's show you how to do that and what that feels like. How to identify the edges of your comfort zone and recognize the lightness in those, even if there's a bit of a heavy there. So there's discernment around that, because sometimes that can trip people up a little bit. Okay, so I wanted to share Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. It's the original classic edition. You want to get the original edition because the verbiage in it, it's written in 1940 by Napoleon Hill, and the language in it has a higher vibrational resonance than some of the edited versions. So I highly recommend reading this. I actually use it every day. I just say, what page do I need to read before bed? And I flip to it. And then I just get what I need from a couple pages. And I've read through it once already, but I've been using it kind of as a tool to help me go deeper in some of these ideas. And the one, in case you need motivation around decisions, the chapter 8, the entire chapter, is about decision making. And I wanted to share a paragraph with you, because if you ever needed motivation to make decisions, this might be it. He says, analysts of several hundred people who had accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and of changing these decisions slowly if and when they were changed. People who fail to accumulate money, without exception, have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly, and they change their decisions really quickly. So they're indecisive. They're like, oh, okay, eventually I'll make that choice. And then now that I have, no, wait, I made the wrong decision and I change it. Right? So he's studied over 25,000 men, Napoleon Hill did, and spent his entire life researching this book. And it is one of the single greatest books ever written, as far as sort of stepping into abundance as a way of like an energy transmission. It's amazing. But I wanted to share that. I wanted to share that with you because when we make decisions, things like that are aligned and quickly, things happen for us quickly. It's like everything starts to roll in our flow. So we become more abundant and abundant in massive ways. We listen to those whispers. We just act on them, like elevate. I heard it, I acted on it, and it's all unfolding. And if we don't listen to the whisper, somebody else might get that whisper. And so somebody else might have that invention, like Henry Ford in the car. He heard these whispers and, followed through on them. Einstein, lots of these different inventors acted on their whispers. So perhaps you've had a whisper you didn't act on. It's not that something else won't come in later, it will, but you do want to make those quick decisions so you're the one tapping into some of these amazing inspirations that are flowing through you. So can we show you how to do that, what that feels like? It's safe and possible for you. And you're able to identify the whispers as they show up and then take inspired action. Again, because when they show up, it feels light for the most part. Other than that, like, ooh, I've hit the edge. But even when you hit the edge, there's still a lightness in it because it's aligned and it's exciting. So can we show you that? Can we show you how to recognize those inspirations and how to take inspired action? And that's safe and possible for you, and you're able to do so now. Okay, awesome. Name of the book, Mary, is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Awesome. Any other questions before I keep rocking? Oh, Melina, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so good. So what I wanted to do, and so side note too, I just wanted to mention parents, teach your kids these tools. Because once we have children that, as parents, we're not telling them what's best for them based on our paradigm and our belief systems, once we show kids, okay, well, what feels light for you? Does playing city soccer feel light for you, or does that feel heavy? And, having them actually play with light and heavy is a massive gift to our children. Because if you imagine a society where we're all actually living in our flow and in our truth, it's going to be incredible. And that's where we're headed. That's what's starting, the shifts that are starting to happen on this planet, which is why the tools and techniques are coming through. I'm going to share some more with you tonight. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is go into a visualization that specifically helps connect you into the inner wisdom within your soul essence, the inner wisdom within Mother Earth, and the inner wisdom within all things, or within the universe, the universal wisdom. So again, everyone has different terms for this. You might call this universal life force energy, you might call it the universe, you might call it source, you might call it creator, you might call it God. Whatever word you use for that most benevolent, connected energy, that's what this helps us connect into. So I'm going to do this visualization with you, bring in some downloads that are going to help you tap into some of these inner gifts, your inner intuition. And then from there, I'm going to play with a tool that I also love. And then we'll finish with a bit of a Q&A. So before we go into this visualization, are there any questions, any comments, anything I can speak through? Hi, Krista. Hey, Keila. Hi, Karina. So fun. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get you to get centered. And I'll have you feel into the infinite wisdom of your heart to start. And just take a deep breath in and let it out. And as you breathe in this time, feel that loving heart energy. Connect into the all that is energy of your non-physical self, of your energy body, of who you truly are. And just breathe that in and feel it heading to every cell in your body. So reconnecting into the you of unconditional love. So breathing in and letting anything that isn't unconditionally loving out. And one more time, take a deep breath in and letting it out. And if you yawn, sometimes yawning is just an energy shift. So I notice a lot of times in these calls, I tend to yawn. Okay, so send the energy from your heart now. We're going to connect that infinite wisdom within yourself to the infinite wisdom of Mother Earth. So feel that wisdom and energy coming all the way down through your body, down into your legs, into your feet, all the way down through to each layer of the earth, into the crystal core center of the earth. Take a big scoop of that earth energy, bring it all the way back up through the earth. So as you do, feeling into that infinite wisdom of the planet, the infinite wisdom of Mother Earth, and the vibration of Earth is increasing. So what you need to know is Mother Earth's energy within the last 3 months is higher, more high vibrational than ever before. Which means when we tap into that, our vibration increases. And the higher our vibration is, the easier our life can be, the more harmony we can be within our relationships, the more abundance we can attract in, the more joy we can feel. And the more truth of who we truly are, our intuition, the more that awakens. So I want you to really feel all this energy coming all the way up through the earth and up into your feet and feeling nurtured and grounded and noticing the vibration of your energy shifting higher. So you're feeling more love as you bring this energy all the way up through your feet, up through your legs, up into the base of your spine, merging with the infinite wisdom of your heart and continuing onward into your head. And you'll notice a beautiful ball of light forming above your head. And we're going to use that ball of light as a spaceship of sorts to propel you into the all that is energy or the infinite wisdom of all things. So send your consciousness into that ball of light, and we're going to propel it onward and upwards. So feeling yourself heading up past all of the stars, moving onward and outward past all the planets, continuing onward and outward until you feel yourself reaching the edge of this universe. And as you do, you'll notice a beautiful layer of bright lights. So pushing onward and outward past these beautiful bright lights, heading onward and outward through these beautiful golden lights. So you'll notice these flecks of golden light. So pushing past each golden light until you notice sort of a thin layer of jelly as the next layer, and you'll notice that each layer has a different color of the rainbow. So it's this beautiful thin layer of jelly, and you'll notice each layer of the rainbow as you feel yourself or see yourself heading all the way through until you see a doorway to the energy of all that is. So noticing this doorway, and again, as you go through this doorway, this is propelling you into the infinite wisdom of all things, into the all that is energy, into creation energy, into life force energy, into source energy, the essence of God, universal energy. Again, whatever you're connecting to, this is connecting you more deeply to that. So sending yourself deeper and deeper into this all that is of all that is energy. And deeper still. Deeper and deeper into this tingly white light until you start to really, truly feel love. And this is the place of total and complete unconditional love. This is the place of instant manifestations, materializing all that you desire, having it just show up, instant healings. It's the place of it just is. There's no judgment here. There's no resentment here. There's nothing lower, heavier. It's just light and love. It's complete and total. understanding. It's complete and total truth. It's complete and total acceptance. So let's just bring all of that in for you, this feeling of completely unconditionally loving yourself, unconditionally accepting yourself, seeing you from the truth of this place, and having the understanding of you from this place, and that that's safe and possible for you in doing so now. So if you'd like all of that and like to feel the vibration and the harmony of that, can you bring that in for you now and just say yes? Okay, and would you like to know the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on how to make quick decisions? So what I'd like to witness is some of these new perspectives coming in. And what I generally see is them coming into every cell in your body and being. And what they do is they literally reprogram your subconscious mind. So you start to reprogram your neural pathways when these new feelings come in, because a lot of us will have a perspective of love that may not be totally true. It might be a bit, we might have some unconditional love because we've got dogs and we really see how unconditionally loving they can be to us. But for most of us, love is skewed on some level through our experiences, through our upbringing perhaps, or relationship breakups. So when we bring in these new perspectives and awarenesses, they can literally change everything in our reality, because our belief systems shift and the way we perceive things change. So be open to how these new awarenesses can bring incredible changes into your life. Okay, so let's just show you first off how to make a quick decision and how to do it from a heart-centered place. So your logical mind is literally 5% of the subconscious mind. And when you make decisions based on logic, you're not using the greatest source of your power and potency and ability to make decisions. Logic is usually not going to get you to the place of what's in your highest and best. Whereas if you come from a place of being totally heart-centered and feeling into what's light and what's heavy, that's the place you want to make decisions from. So can we show you how to do that, what that feels like, and you're able to do so now? Okay. And all the ways you've been taught to use logic as the only way to make a decision, can we release that? All the ways you think you need to make a pros and cons list. You can keep that as a tool if you think you need it, but trust me, you don't need it anymore. So all those logical tools you've used, let's just show you that there's other tools now that you can step into that help you flow with your truth, and that's safe and possible, and you're doing so now. And can we show you what it would feel like to make time for and how to live your daily life with an inner stillness and an inner peace that allows you to receive guidance? So again, in An Evening to Elevate, Mike Massey is going to really speak to meditation. And for me, the importance of meditation is creating that stillness, that time, that practice for being still, so that you get out of your monkey mind, like I used to be, and into a place of connection, as we just did through this visualization, because that's where the inspirations come in, that's where the whispers are heard, and then you can act accordingly. So can we show you that? Can we show you that you know how to hear your truth in this place of stillness and peace, that you know how to hear your truth at all times, really, and that it's safe for you to receive your truth and to act on your truth, and you know how to and what that feels like, and you're able to do so now. So if you'd like all of that, say yes as well. Amazing. And can we show you as well what it would be like to feel confident in who you truly are? So can we go back to yourself as a child who's feeling a lack of confidence, and can we show her what you're learning about really stepping into who you are and the confidence that you can build from that? So for me, confidence has come from literally making decisions in my flow. Does this feel light? Does this feel heavy? And the more I do, the more intuitive I'm becoming, the more all that I desire shows up for me, the more all these really cool opportunities are coming in that I didn't even think was possible 5 years ago, and now these things are showing up. So can we show you that that's possible for you, and show your inner child and your inner teenagers who are lacking confidence, again, that when we live from a place of our truth, we're radiant and we're magnetic. Like, don't you love that person who just seems to be totally and completely real? They're so magnetic, right? You were like, there's something really amazing about their energy, and like, I want more of that. And if all of us could have been that person in high school and through school, post-secondary, or whatever we did, even in our workplace, where we could be that authentic, how cool would this world be? So can we show your inner children how they can be the leaders of that authentic, I'm close, way of being, and that they can make that their decisions from a place of authenticity as well. And then you have that, and it's safe and possible for you. And it's fun and light and easy and playful. Making decisions can be playful. Okay, so again, if you'd like all that, say yes. And can we show you as well how to take courage? So how to recognize when you're at the edge of your comfort zones, as I was describing, and courageously push through them anyhow. And how to ride the wave of your flow. Like, it's almost like there's this momentum that happens when we start to really connect in. So can we show you how to do that, what that feels like? It's safe and possible for you, and you're doing so now as well. Okay. And can we show you how to live without being a procrastinator? Can we show you how to live without allowing others' decisions and perspectives and opinions to influence yours? And can we give you discernment around having just recognizing another person's interesting point of view? Because here's the thing. If you want to do something that stretches your comfort zone, it's probably going to rock the boat of a lot of people in your world. So most people live from a place of security and from a place of safety. They don't like to push the edges of their comfort zone. So if you're asking most people's opinions, they're probably going to tell you not to do that thing that feels a little bit risque, right? Whereas if so that little thing that feels a bit risque or is outside of the norm or outside of the box of what's acceptable, if you're looking to other people's for their opinion, you're probably not going to be in the flow if that's the inspiration that came through for you, right? See what I'm trying to say? Like, even for me as a teacher, because I had extreme teaching in the public system, it's a lot, you have a lot of security there. So most people, for me to step into something like this, where I'm self-employed now, it's fairly risky, perhaps from that interesting point of view, but it's really aligned, and it's why I'm here, and it's my purpose, and it makes me happy, and it just feels light and right. When I open an email that is work related, I suddenly get that heaviness in my body. And so I know if I were to go back to teaching, it's not meant to be right now, right? So I'm literally letting the flow of light and heavy guide my life. And so it's been a lot more joy-filled than before, when I was trying to use logic and other people's opinions. Like, I was depressed, and I was anxious and perfectionist and a worry wart. And I'm not any of those things anymore because I'm in my flow. So can we also show you the magic that happens when you tap into your flow and make decisions from that place? Safe and possible for you, and you're doing so now. So again, if you'd like all of that, say yes. Okay. And I'm hearing to bring in bravery. Bravery is slightly different from courage. Courage has an embedded fear. Like, it's like, I have this fear and I'm pushing through it anyhow. Whereas bravery doesn't have fear involved. It's like, if you're brave, you're just moving forward, and you're rocking it, and you're in your flow and in your momentum, and you're doing something maybe outside of your comfort zone, but you're just doing it. There's no fear there. So can we bring in the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on bravery, and show you what it would feel like to act with bravery and choose decisions from that place of bravery. And can we just pull the pain, trauma, and drama from any time and place where you felt like you made a wrong decision and that you need to play it safe now? So any of those moments where you've been regretting a decision you've made and you feel like maybe you made the wrong decision and it's ruined your life or it's taken you on a wrong turn, can we just give you the highest perspective, understanding, and truth in all of those situations? And can we awaken you or kind of open you up to seeing how that choice was actually in your highest and best, and how that choice brought you exactly where you're at now? And if there's any beliefs in there around, like, I need to have like I just keep getting for people with greater education, like I wish I had have gone to university, or I wish I had have taken a different degree, or there just feel like there's regrets around sort of decisions that were made maybe in your late teenage, early 20 years. Maybe you dated the wrong person, or you got pregnant by someone and ended up getting married, and that, you know, felt really heavy, and then got divorced later. It just feels like between your teenage and early 20s, there feels like there's some regret around for a lot of people around decisions that were made. So can we just release the regret that you're carrying around the decisions you made then that were out of alignment? And can we just bring in self-compassion and show you that you're doing the best you could with the resources and tools and knowings that you had at the time, and that those choices really did help you to be where you're at now? And where you're at now is helping you to get to where you're going, and it's going to be pure magic if it's not already. So can we show you how to really tap into the potential of what you're creating, and that it's full of joy and laughter and happiness, and that you've got that now. So if you'd like all of that, say yes as well. And just sending a healing for everyone in that time, and getting so that they can even receive the knowledge that you're receiving from this call, so that they have tools to make more aligned decisions and reprogram all of those in the highest and best way. Okay, so this last tool that I want to share is probably my absolute favorite. And it's another Access Consciousness tool. They have so many great ones. The idea is, if you tune into and tap into a decision you're making, like a big one. So say it's a class you want to take. I use this all the time if there's a class that I'm thinking about taking. Or an event you want to attend, like an evening to elevate on May 10th. Or anything. You know, you're thinking about going on a vacation and you can't figure out where to go or if to go. Any decision that feels maybe relatively expensive, because when, you know, money's included, sometimes we make that seem like it's a bigger decision. Or if there's a lot of time, that feels sometimes like a bigger decision or a commitment. But what I like to do is use this tool. So basically what we're going to do is use the light and heavy and combine it with this tool. So what we're going to do is feel into a decision that you have to make and see if in 6 months from now it feels lighter for you or heavy. And then you tap into the you of 6 years from now and see if it's made a difference, if it's lighter or heavier if you make this decision. So let's play first with just the tool of light and heavy. So I'm just here to do a really simple one, like eggs for breakfast. And some of you might be vegan or vegetarian, so it's probably going to feel heavy if that's the case, which is okay. You'll get a sense of light or heavy. So I want you to feel into that first. So I want you to feel into the idea, like feel into having eggs for breakfast, and see if that feels light within your body and being, or see if that feels heavy for you. So play with that one first. Eggs for breakfast tomorrow. And for me, I'm getting a light, and my light kind of like pulls up. It just feels like, ah. So I kind of get like a visual, like I almost imagine it going upward. I get like this calm sensation. Everyone has a different feeling. And it, for me, mine transforms over time. But feel into what whether you got a light or a heavy. My heavy is more like it's like a heavy in my chest, in my heart. Feels like a downward pulling action. Okay. And let's try one more. Let's do, let's feel into if it's light or heavy to go for a walk tomorrow. That's just the one that came in. I think it's going to rain. It's going to be cold, so I don't know if that'll make a difference. But feel into if that's light or heavy for you. And I'm getting a heavy right away. It's like, oh. And I do love to walk, but. Okay, so now let's incorporate the light and heavy into the next tool. So I'll give you, again, a bit of the background on my events and Evening to Elevate. So it's May 10th, 7 o'clock p.m. Mike Massey, myself, and Susan Marie are going to be speaking. We're going to have some snacks. There's a new swag bag at the end, some goodies inside. And there's going to be a break, like a little social at the beginning, a little social partway through. Where I'm hoping like-minded souls can connect, and just tons of experiences, tools. Like, it's not just us talking. It's kind of like this, where I'm going to speak a bit and then give you tools and downloads and any energy transmissions. And I know Mike and Susan are going to do the same. So feeling into that. And then what I'm going to have you do is play with the tool. So if you come to the event in 6 months from now, does it feel lighter, like it's amplifying your life on some level? Or does it feel heavier, like it's not amplifying, it's actually harming you on some level? Or not, I don't know if harm's the right word, but like just a heavy. Or does it feel neutral? Because sometimes I'll just get, it doesn't matter either way. So I want you to feel into that. So we'll just use the event because everyone on the call can kind of connect to the same thing that way. So feel into the event, Elevate on May 10th. And if you were to attend, let's do either through the replay if you're not in Stratford, or come in person. See if in 6 months from now, does that feel like it's amplified your life, like it's a light, or a heavy, meaning, yeah, it's really not in your highest and best, or is it neutral? It doesn't matter either way. And then we're going to do the same thing for 6 years from now. So feel into 6 months from now. And then feel into 6 years from now, because this work can be pretty transformative. So feel into 6 months from now, or 6 years from now, sorry, if this is going to amplify, it's going to feel light for you, or if it's going to feel heavy. Or again, if you get a neutral, it doesn't matter. It's your choice. And then I like to play with it the other way. So if I don't go, how do I feel in 6 months from now? So let's do it that way too. So if you don't go to Elevate, how does that feel? Does it feel heavy not to go? Or does it feel light not to go? So play with that as well. 6 months from now, if you don't go to Elevate, does that feel light or heavy for you? And then 6 years from now, if you don't go to the event, does it feel light or heavy for you? So for me, that's a tool that I use to really help me decide the big stuff, because I'm tapping into the me of 6 months from now. How is it working for me? And then 6 years from now. So there was a 4-day class I was going to take over the Christmas break. And each time I felt into it, it felt heavy. And I don't think the class is heavy. I think it's the timing of the class. So if I were to ask those same questions again for when it's offered in July, I might get a different answer. So sometimes it's about the timing. Sometimes it's about like the multitude of factors that are involved. But again, it's like, now that you've got that guidance, it's trust the guidance, first of all. So it can show you what it feels like to trust your guidance now that you have these tools to get clear guidance, and now that's safe for you, and you know how to surrender to the guidance in the highest and best way. And then how to act with inspiration. So if you're getting the guidance to attend, awesome. I would absolutely love to see you there. If you're not, beautiful, good too, right? Like, it's one of those things where I invite people to come to my stuff, but I only if it's in the highest and best. I just want to be an invitation for people. And so that works for me because I don't ever feel salesy. It's just like, I'll put the invitation out. So if any of you are into sales or into some of this alternative healing from a business perspective, it's kind of nice just to be the invitation and to show people these tools so that they themselves, can choose what feels aligned and right for them. Okay, amazing. So that's what I really wanted to cover. I just wanted to give you some new perspectives and awarenesses, and the tool of light and heavy, and the tool of, okay, 6 months from now, 6 years from now, how does it feel? For you to play with. And I would absolutely love feedback on how that's working for you, and play with it. And the more you play, the more you're going to really build confidence in your decisions. And the more you play with those tools, the more you're going to be like, whoa, yeah, I made that. I followed that guidance. Like I did this with a networking event I attended a little while ago. My logical mind would have said there's no reason for me to go, except maybe to network, but that didn't feel like it was worth it. But my guidance kept telling me, no, you need to go. You need to go. It's amazing. And when I went there, I felt like the quality of the presenters was incredible. The content was great. Like I knew why I was supposed to be there once I got there, but I couldn't see it before I was there. So for me, the light and heavy, and then looking at my life in 6 months and then in 6 years, feeling into that, helped to get me to that event, which was certainly beneficial. Yeah, so hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes sense for everyone. Love it. Okay, great. Yay, we've got more people joining. Thank you. So do you guys have questions at all about the content of tonight's call, or questions about the event Elevate itself? I just want to kind of open up for Q&A in case anyone has questions. So, yay. Oh, good. Hey, Melina. Thank you. Just hoping to connect soon and just see us on May 10th. Love it. Amazing. So excited. Okay. Jenny, hey. So good. Love it. Thanks, guys. So just to give another really quick preview, we're showing up at 7, May 10th, and then I'll do a really quick welcome. Mike Massey's going to do about an hour on his call. Again, it's about meditation, mindfulness, self-care, and self-compassion. And again, I'm hoping he's going to do some chi flow, and then I'm going to speak about intuition and add some more tools. Thanks, Casey. Casey's saying, I love the tools and the bright, shiny energy. Thank you. So add more tools to help you really tap into your intuition, because literally for me, it was the single greatest game changer of my life. Like it shifted me into living life for me. And when I do that, I can actually show up for everyone else differently. And I can be the change that I want to see in the world. As cliche as that sounds, that's kind of what's happening, right? It's like when we show up as who we really truly are, everyone around us benefits. And we do that when we're intuitive and when we're connected into our guidance. So I'm really excited to help you. And there's going to be tons of tools. I'm not even sure what's coming through yet. It feels like there's going to be so many things coming through. And then Susan Marie is incredible. So we're going to, after me, take about a 20-minute to half-hour break to mix and mingle, have some snacks, use the washroom. And then Susan Marie is going to speak to I like helping us connect into the unconditional love that we are. And she's really amazing. Like she is this ball of love and light. You'll just love her energy. And she's going to help us connect into truth and see our truth and be our truth. And she's got really amazing ways, tools, and techniques to do that quickly. So I'm excited to have you guys connect into her as well. So yeah. And then lastly, if you aren't able to attend live, I'm going to do a replay option. So initially I wanted to do a live stream, but a friend of mine was like, you realize that's a bit of a technological nightmare if the internet isn't amazing. And she just kind of brought it to my awareness that it might be something I try for the second event. So I think what we're going to do is if you can attend live, it will be videotaped and the replay will be sent to you. But she kind of freaked me out that the Zoom might not work, it might be overloaded or whatever. So at this point, unless things change, I'll offer a replay. That's $59, probably within the first 24 hours for anyone who can't be here live. And everyone that can attend live, it's $99 for the night for all of the speakers and for the full event, which is going to be so much fun. So excited that you guys joined. Thank you for the positive comments. Sounds like everyone's getting a lot out of the tools. Amazing. So good. And lastly, for those of you that missed it, title of the book that I was saying is incredible is Think and Grow Rich. It's about abundance, and Napoleon Hill basically researched, he's got 25,000 people in the one section I was reading, but a ton of different super successful people. And in 1940 came to some very succinct conclusions as to certain things that will help increase your abundance and your passion. So definitely worth a read. You will love it. Again, Napoleon Hill, and buy the original edition. Cool. Okay, any last questions before I send you off on your way? And I will post this replay, so please share it. If you found value from tonight, share it so that others can receive the value. I'm all about like spread love. I want as many people to have access to these tools as possible and receive the healings and shifts from this work. Amazing. Yay. Aw, thank you, Elena. She says, I hope we can all be as sparkly and happy as me. Love it. Thank you. EC, Susie, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Okay, awesome. So I will see you. I look forward to seeing you May 10th. Get your tickets. Oh, I forgot. I'm having a free giveaway. Tonight I'm like launching a free giveaway. So I'm giving 2 tickets to the event away and dinner for 2 at the most amazing restaurant in Stratford, which is the Keystone Alley restaurant. So I will have a link posted that you can share, and you want to tag 3 friends in the post and share and like it to be entered into the draw. And the draw, I think I'm going to have it next Wednesday in a week. So you've got like the weekend to share away, send this to your friends, and potentially win dinner for 2 and 2 tickets to the event. So yeah, super excited for my giveaway as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Love seeing you. Thanks for connecting. We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.